album review of Joyner Lucas's ADHD. This was from an album recommendation that I got, and might I tell you, I was quite hesitant to get into this album for many reasons. Well, not many reasons, just one reason. I'm not the biggest Joyner Lucas fan. I tried to get into this guy's music. Oh, okay, my efforts have been quite minimal because my only exposure to Joyner Lucas was his big hit record, I'm Not Racist, which I thought was cool concept, especially with the music video as well. But it fell flat for me. I thought it was a bit corny. Yeah, that's my opinion on that song. And then obviously his verse on Eminem's Kamikaze on Lucky You, which I thought that verse was decent, and it actually gave Eminem a run for his money. And then also Ross Kapikioni, I'm not sure if I'm getting that pronunciation right, which in all fairness to Joyner, that is an all-timer storytelling track. But outside of those three tracks, and also Isis and Devil's Work, which to my surprise are actually on this album, which those were two songs, even before getting to this album, those are two songs that I was never crazy about. You know, it's Joyner Lucas for me is one of those rappers where he is clearly a good rapper. He's a good rapper, but he's one of those rappers where, you know, the criticism that Eminem gets where people accuse, especially modern day Eminem, of just rapping fast and he says nothing of substance, which couldn't be far from the truth. That criticism is the criticism that I have of Joyner. He has great flows, he raps fast in most of his songs that I've heard, but you really try to dissect what he's actually saying, he's not really saying much. Getting into this album, my expectations couldn't be more low, to be honest with you, but getting into the album, you're getting into this skit where it's this conversation between a doctor and Joyner, an 8-year-old Joyner in this case, where I think he's going through, I forgot the name of that test where they do for kids with ADHD, which is just a test for the kid to just point out what they see. And yeah, so they're having this conversation between Joyner and the doctor, and Joyner correctly calls out what he sees, and then the conversation just turns left very quickly, where the doctor eventually swears at Joyner, saying, "Why are you so stupid?" And he says other vulgar things, and then getting into the album, which for me was a cringy start to the album already, and I'm like, okay. And I've always preached the importance of starting out an album very well. Like the start of an album plays such a huge role, and just the general sequencing of it. So getting into the album already, now it's like, okay, interesting start to the album. Then honestly, the album just never picks up from there. Because Joyner, for me, my criticisms of Joyner, besides what I've already said regarding his fast rapping and just he hardly says anything of substance, like except for the odd song, where firstly, he's a terrible hook maker. He is so horrible with the hooks. It's actually unbelievable. With like a song, I think the one with Young Thug, I forgot the name of it, but that song, horrible hook. The first song, I Lied, horrible hook. And just the rest of the album is just filled with horrible hooks, man. He is